Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope everyone's well, making the most of the glorious weather we are having and managing to get out in the garden with the pond and the koi. So first thing, apologies, I didn't get a video out last weekend. With it being the Easter weekend, I actually went away with the family for the weekend, spent some quality family time. And I'd also promised my wife that I would not be on the phone on YouTube all weekend, so yeah, we didn't put out a video. But anyway, in this video, we are going to go through in our shop, and I'll run over it quickly. We try to use a variety of different filters. Obviously, the easiest way to set the tanks is to do the tanks and then replicate the filters on each tank. But being as we do a lot of work out on site, installing filters, etc., we decided to go with doing different types of filters in the shop so we could bring customers in, show them pros and cons of different filters, and obviously run through how they work. So on one of the tanks, we've got a Cetus sieve and a bead filter running. Works absolutely brilliant, keeps all the water crystal clear, nice water quality. But there was a slight issue on the cleaning. So I'm going to show you what we've done. It's a little modification, nice and cheap to do. It costs, it's about £10 for the couple of parts that you need. But I feel that it makes an absolute massive difference to the bead filter and improves it massively. So stay tuned. I will show you what parts you need and we will show you what we've done. Right then, this is the tank that the Cetus sieve and bead filter are on. As you can see, water clarity is lovely. We have high stocking levels which fluctuate up and down and it keeps up with it, so that's it's doing its job. The tank is 460 gallon and I'm telling you that because that in turn is almost what has caused an issue on the cleaning. So I'll take you out and we will run through it. Right then, here's the setup. So we've got a gravity fed feed going into the Cetus sieve that then gets pulled to a pump, pumped into the bead, up to the Tempest, and then back through the UV and to the tank. Now, as I say, great little setup, working absolutely wonderfully, but there was a slight issue when it came to cleaning. Now, obviously, the Cetus sieve, that can travel up and down, so that's wonderful. But when it came to the actual cleaning process, on a bead filter, if you're not familiar with the process, when you clean it, you boil the media, and then once that's been boiling, you then turn the air pump, air blower, this, back off, and then you pump water through the bead, which cleans it out. Now, that works to a certain degree. The only issue that you have is that rather than it obviously cleaning it instantly, as in dumping the water, it slowly thins the waste out. So you need quite a large volume of water to actually get the bead back to clean. And that's where we were having an issue because the tank is only 400 gallon, well 460 gallon. So before we were getting the bead clean, we were running out of water and starting to run dry on the Cetus sieve. So if you can see, let's go down there. What we have done is installed this tap. Now, this is the tap that I was on about that you will need to buy. And then just down here, there will be a blanking cap in this. So if you drain the bead down, take the blanking cap out, you can then put a straight cup, male cupper in, and then go to a 1-inch tap. We've then got a 1-inch hose tail that goes into this. And on this, I've used just a clear piece of pipe, just so we can see what water's coming out, if it's dirty or if it's clear. This is the biggest sized clear hose that I had, but ideally, I think it would work much better if it was on 1-inch hose. So I probably will change that out at some point. But yeah, what I will do is I will go through the cleaning process that we do now and tell you how it's working and what we do as we go along. Right then, we've now turned everything off. It's nice and quiet in here now for a minute or two. Sorry about the gurgling in the background, that's just the overflow. So just to mention as well, you can only do this modification if you have got the new style bead filter. Obviously, the older blue model that came out originally, that had the micro K1 in, it did have a drain valve in the bottom, but it doesn't come out fast enough. Whereas this one, the new style one that Evolution Aqua make, that has got a drain point at the bottom, and that will come out a lot faster, so it will only work on the new one. But yeah, so we've turned everything off, which is number one. On these, you would then go to rinse. We will also turn off the pump just to make sure that we don't pump air back into the system. Turn off that one as well. And then you would turn your blower on, which we'll do now, so it will get a bit noisy, and open the valve. This in turn, then you'll start to see in here, it boils all the media, which is obviously cleaning it all. So we'll leave that running for a couple of minutes. Right then, we've had this running for a couple of minutes now. Rather than turning the air blower back off and putting the pump back on, all we have to do now is we actually go down to this valve and open it. And I don't know whether you can see there, but when we open that, dirty water started being forced out of there. So what is actually happening now is the bead filter is draining down. So we'll give that a few minutes to drain down. Right then, you can hear now that that's all completely emptied. The water has stopped coming through this pipe now. So this bead filter is now completely empty of water. So let's just turn the air blower off. So yeah, rather than flushing this through and having to use large volumes of water, if you have got it set up on a small system or you don't want to dump a lot of water, it just gives you the option that you can actually just drain it down. And it kind of, the Tempest, it almost makes it very similar to a Tempest, that you're actually just boiling it up and you're just draining all of the water out. But what I love about that is when you're draining all the water out, you are getting rid of all the waste. If you wanted to, make sure you always turn these taps off, as I've said in previous videos. If you wanted to now, you could also turn this to backwash, which will make the water come out at the top, and then that would fall on top of the media, and then obviously go out of your waste as well. So that would give the media another rinse as well. But to be honest with you, we find that it doesn't really need it. Again, you could fill this up and you could boil it again and rinse it twice if you wanted to. But as I say, we've just found that in the shop, just doing that one clean will take all of the waste out, and the volume of water that we're using is only the volume that this holds. So it's just a lot less water to use, because we can't keep doing massive water changes in the shop. And as I say, it's not possible because the sieve starts to run dry before it actually gets chance. So anyway, once you've turned your air blower off, as I say, make sure you turn your tap off. You then just pop your tap back off down there. We go back to filter. We'll open our valves back up. And then pop your pump and your UV back on. And then just make sure that you bleed the air out of the unit until the water comes up. Right then, you can see the media has just come back up there, all nice and clean. We'll do the bleed valve back up, and that's us all back up and running. Right then, as you can see, that's all lovely and clean now. So just a quick note as well, if you do think after seeing this video of adding a tap to the bead filter so you can actually change the cleaning process slightly and drain it down, don't forget, if you do add that tap, you can just continue to clean the bead, or if you ever wish to, you can clean it exactly how you used to do it. It doesn't make any difference on the normal cleaning side. You can do your backwashes, your rinses, whatever you want to do. But if you do add the tap, just be fully aware of A, you know how to install it correctly and what you're doing with the plumbing, and B, also that you understand the whole concept of how a bead filter runs. Obviously, we know what we're doing in the shop. We work on them day in, day out on site, but I wouldn't want anyone to obviously have any problems or create any problems in the pond. So yeah, do obviously make sure you understand exactly how it all works before you go changing things and putting any taps on there. But yeah, it does work very well. Right then, that's it for this video, just a short one. The next video we are doing is a 6,000 gallon pond, and we're changing out the filtration system, so keep a lookout for that video coming shortly. Also as well, I just wanted to reiterate, obviously as I said, we work on these on ponds and equipment day in, day out, so we're confident in what we're doing. But please, if you are modifying anything on your pond, be very careful. I wouldn't want anyone to have a disaster and get anything wrong. So yeah, if you're unsure, either A, don't do it, or B, get in contact with us. But yeah, I hope you all have a great bank holiday weekend and enjoy this weather while it lasts. And we shall see you all on the next video.